Ladies and gentlemen, behold your new god.
Trying to go 6 for 6 on the day, and it is good! Stephen Gostkowski.
Oh my goodness. Jake.
I called it.
You called it. It's going to come down to the kicker again. First of all, how are you doing? How's your health? How's your heart rates? Are you breathing at normal levels again? Because I'm still coming down for the third straight week.
I took a breathing treatment. I am feeling better. I'm ready to record this episode, and I have an appointment with the heart doctor to try and get some pills for Sundays this year.
Get some pills for Sunday. That's some good advice. Every Titans fan out there needs to go to their doctor, get some kind of heart rate medication for the rest of the season, because it looks like we're going to be in for a few of these for a while. Titans move to 3-0 somehow. It doesn't feel. This doesn't. I'm going to be honest. This does not feel like a 3-0 team right now. But that's what the number says. That's what the record is by the name Titans. So I'll take it. Stephen Gostkowski. Gonna be the story again.
6 of 6.
He didn't miss anything. We had a kicking
Not a single kick
today that went without missing any field goals. I tweeted it out. I think people were ready to burn his house to the ground, perhaps before that final drive against Denver in Week 1, and then now after the Jacksonville game, and now after this game.
We'll elect him the mayor of Nashville.
Yeah, let's put him on the voting ballots. I will follow that man into politics. I don't know what his beliefs are, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, man.
Field goals for the Titans. I haven't said that since Ryan Suckup 3-ish, 2-ish years ago. I forgot exactly when Suckup started to fall off or get injured. But anyway, Gostkowski was already awarded the game ball. That seems like a no-brainer. But yeah, let's get into this, Jake. We got problems. We got problems on the defense. First of all, credit to the Minnesota Vikings. They absolutely came to play. And I feel like, in general, outplayed us most of this game. I thought they deserved to win had it not been, we caught some breaks late in the game. That final drive.
Absolutely. Turnover battle was huge in this one.
Turnover battle was huge. The bad snap to Kirk Cousins kind of derailed their final drive attempt that I thought we were going to be in big trouble for after the roughing the passer. Whatever.
Bush League call, but
that seemed Bush League.
Not much you can do about it, but man, oh man, that was a bad call. Anyways.
So Dalvin Cook, career game. Justin Jefferson, career game, and it's probably going to be a career game for him for a long time because he popped off for 175 yards, completely torching Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler had a bad game today.
Yeah, it was bad. And Dalvin Cook gashing us. So Jake, what is wrong with this defense? I mean, we're seemingly healthy personnel-wise. Simmons is there, Clowney's there. We got Vic Beasley in there now. We got Harold Landry, went out but came back after he got injured in this game. Jayon Brown, Rashaan Evans are quality inside linebackers. It's still not working though. What's going on? Is it Dean Pease not being there, or are we just not playing as well?
One of my biggest concerns coming into this year was, Mike Vrabel being named the defensive coordinator and not having Dean Pease in his back pocket for the first time in his head coaching career. And it's showing. This defense is not cohesive. It looks like there's confusion out there. It just doesn't look good as a whole. We're getting gashed week after week on the ground. And Justin Jefferson, a rookie, put it on our secondary today. I thought Kevin Byard was quiet today. Yeah. Malcolm Butler was getting torched on every replay you see. Justin Jefferson, every catch he had, who was trailing behind him but Malcolm Butler. Yeah. So we need to get a Dory back in that secondary. Definitely. Have to get healthy on that end. And I mean, the pass rush was a little more involved in this game. There was some push. I thought Jeffrey Simmons had a great game, minus the roughing the passer call late there. I thought Jeffrey Simmons was very disruptive, and he played a good game. I would like to see Clowney notch a sack in the box score. It's just a frustrating day on defense. The Vikings did whatever they wanted.
Yeah, for sure. And talking about bad penalties on defense from Simmons, right as you think the defense makes a game-changing play, and finally something positive from the defense, Jonathan Joseph, pick six, perfectly. That's exactly what the doctor ordered right coming into the second half. Clowney, blindside block. I did not get to see a replay. I actually missed that play live because I was kind of flipping to another game, and I caught
the second half.
Yeah,
First play of the second half.
So I missed it, and I missed the replay of the penalty.
Yeah.
But that's a rule now, and so he should know, and the coaches should be talking about, these blindside blocks are illegal. They're going to call it, but still a boneheaded play that could have cost us the game.
Almost didn't need it. Who knows if that wide receiver catches up there? But
I feel like
can't have that. And then our offense, had a terrible possession. They just moved backwards and punted the ball away. It was a 3-and-out. It was a terrible start to the second half. Anyways, it was a frustrating game, but at the end of the day, we got the 3-0 in the win column. So
somehow Kuharski tweeted this out. Somehow the Titans went from getting a pick six to going 3-and-out and punting because of that penalty, and then the terrible series
in Vikings territory at that.
Yeah. My goodness.
It was a frustrating
game. We should have just trotted out Gostkowski. He keeps getting further and further with the range. I'm expecting a couple 60-plus yard field goals against the Steelers, and then hopefully in the Bills he can hit some 70-yarders. I'm all on board with this guy now. This guy is killing it now. Clutch, under pressure.
He went from let's send this guy just to the curb. Let's kick him out. Let's get him out of this facility to, wow, he is the chosen one to kick for this team. And I would like to call out a comment.
Yes.
I'm not trying to mix things up, but I just would like to call out this comment from Randy Ruprecht.
Get him.
On our Vikings preview game that went up our Vikings preview video that went up on last night. Quote, "You totally lost me when you said the kicker matchup is a push. What is wrong with Titans fans and coaching staff having faith in a kicker who's missed 5 kicks in 2 games? That's a huge mistake, and he will inevitably lose a game for them." Well, Mr. Randy Ruprecht.
It didn't happen this game.
He won the game for the Titans today.
Yeah.
He won the game. Cold take. Sorry about it, man. You got called out.
Yeah, got to call out the cold takes, and that's fine. And I hope our commenters call out our cold takes too. I mean, it's fair game.
Absolutely. Hey, we're putting it out there for them. Let's have a duel.
Yeah, and ironically,
that's the fun of this. That's the fun of talking about sports. Man.
Yeah, and ironically,
sorry, Randy. I hope you continue to tune in.
Yeah, and Dan Bailey for the Vikings was the perfect kicker on the season coming in, not having missed a kick, and he missed a field goal, which ended up being huge in a 1-point game. Obviously,
absolutely, yeah.
So
crazy twist of fate there, who would have ever thought? But going back to the defense in this game, huge problem going forward. I mean, Justin, what are you thinking on this front? What can the Titans do to kind of get this defense back on track? We're getting gassed.
Yeah, it's not like we can blame injuries. Almost. Once we get Adoree Jackson back, I feel like we're going to be. Is there anyone else that feel like we're going to be fully healthy on defense once we get Adoree Jackson back? But he's not gonna help stop the run game. That's not the problem. I mean, we're getting gashed up the middle, time and time again. Last week it was James Robertson. This time it's Dalvin Cook. Maybe it's schematically. I don't know. I'm definitely just one of those fans. I'm not a X's and O's guys. I'm not like, oh, here we are in this formation again. This hasn't worked out for us. This doesn't look favorable. Here they are running the football on us. I've watched the Titans since they got here in Nashville in 99, and I still haven't picked up on strategy things and formations like that. But I mean, whatever. So I don't know. It's got to be something schematically. It's got to be, putting our players in the right position to make the plays. And I almost feel like that's a coaching thing. We have the talent. So I don't know.
Exactly. Last year, statistically might have showed a different story, but last year, especially early on, this team was not allowing anybody above 20 points a game. This defense seemed like possibly a championship caliber defense as the season progressed. Under Dean Pease, he had the secondary clicking. It was one of the better secondaries I thought we've ever had in Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
But I saw another tweet that said the loss of Logan Ryan is showing maybe more and more each week. And I have to agree with it. He was a leader on that defense. Talk about cohesiveness. He has that secondary running on all cylinders. And Kevin Byard was very quiet in this game, and you look, when you're getting gashed over and over again, you look to a leader like Kevin Byard to rally the troops or maybe make a play, but nothing, no answer on defense.
We had a brief text exchange and I was telling you, like, I couldn't even tell if Kevin Byard was playing in this game. He wasn't showing up really at all, even whether it's making tackles. I think he whiffed on Dalvin Cook's touchdown run, so I noticed him there, but in a negative way. Kind of a no-show from Byard. And going back to what you said about Logan Ryan, I did see another tweet about how Logan Ryan and Jarrell Casey missing is causing huge problems for this defense now, and I almost kind of want to push back on that a little bit because we do have Clowney in here. We added Beasley. I think Jeff.
I disagree with the Jarrell Casey call,
but you do agree with the
Jeffrey
Logan Ryan
Simmons
call.
Is going to be a force on this defense for years to come.
Yeah,
I do agree with the Logan Ryan call.
Yeah, because I think he was important to getting players lined up. The cohesiveness. I like what you said there. I think some things that don't show up on the stat sheet or whatever the saying is. He brought a lot of leadership, cohesiveness, communication. He did all of that, which could be a reason why we're getting torched on defense. And I'm talking about the passing game, not just the running game. Yeah, Justin Jefferson again. Adam Thielen had a pretty solid
Dalvin
game.
Cook had over 8 yards of rush in this game.
Dude, I thought, I was gonna die if Thielen came down with that pass. Did he drop it? I never saw a replay. I was too excited. It looked like he was coming down with it and it bounced up.
I thought he came down with it.
Dude, and of course, of all teams, the Vikings just find a way to make
I believe it was Hooker who got that interception at the end.
Yeah.
Crazy game. I do want to say a positive note on the day.
You found a positive?
I thought the offense responded well. It was
the offense.
I was offense. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't hear you through. My bad.
Positive day from the offense. All good. Positive day from the offense responding to their first half sputters. We had 2 red zone possessions, both field goals. And then there was a third possession that I think was knocking on the door of the red zone, and that ended up in 3 points as well. The Titans could have had a really big early lead in this game, and they settled for field goals over and over and over again. And then, there would be a penalty and you'd have to punt the ball away. It was a frustrating day to start, but this offense really, really responded. Henry got going. I love to see that in the second half. Henry started reeling off longer runs in the second half. And we were down 24-12 in the third quarter, and it was looking bad.
After that 75-yard TD.
Came right back. Yeah, absolutely. Came right back, erased the deficit, and got back in this game and put Gostkowski in a chance to win it. And he did, Randy. But
you're not going to let that go, are you? You're going to have that as a chip on your shoulder.
I'm heated. I'm coming.
Randy! How dare you call out our kicker?
But this offense has made it happen when they've had to make it happen, and that's something that is great to see on a team that you're expecting to win the division. Who I haven't seen the result of the Colts game yet, but let's see here. I got it right here.
Please lose.
Colts, drum roll. Oh, they're playing right now. Duh, no wonder I haven't seen it. Well, they're up 10 on the Jets, which will probably be a win because the Jets are a dumpster fire.
Right.
But
and the Colts blew out this Vikings team too. I mean, there's something to be said for that. The Colts destroyed these guys, and we got the Colts. We got to play the Colts twice this year. Maybe we aren't the best team in the division, even with the 3-0 record. I know the Colts had that ugly game against the Jags, but overall, if they handle business against the Jets and win very convincingly like they did against the Vikings, I would say they're almost a more well-rounded, more impressive team so far.
Especially with Houston falling to 0-3 today. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. I like what you said about the offense. A lot of good things you saw. Tannehill, he didn't throw a touchdown pass. He had a bad interception to Harrison Smith. In the red zone. Was it in the red zone? It was kind of a long pass, where it was underthrown to Harrison Smith, or it was thrown to number 15. Okay, this guy needs to not play for us anymore. I'm sorry. He's had a couple of opportunities. I mean, I can't blame him for that interception, but he did drop a pass. It seemed like on a third down play, maybe, where he was past the sticks, running an out route to the sideline. Tannehill put a good ball on him, and he did not come down with it. Why are we throwing to him? Are we really that thin at receiver?
Bring Tajay Sharp back. We didn't even get to see the Tajay Sharp revenge game. He wasn't even active in this one. Let's get him back in Tennessee. We need the depth.
I don't know. We could use him. If you're not going to use him, Vikings, we certainly will. But also, receiver big time stepping up. If Gostkowski got the game ball, I almost want to give Khalif Raymond the game ball on
Absolutely.
offense. We finally used him after 3 games. This is the first game this year where we played to his strengths. Run that man as fast as he can down the field. Use that light.
2 great deep shots, including one early. I love to see the aggressive call early going deep to Khalif on that first drive. Yeah, he led us in receiving with 118 on 3 catches. That plays to his deep ball ability very well. That's over 30 yards a pop, almost 40. Corey Davis.
Momentum swings, especially the second one, because I think it was 24-12. Before his long,
that second one was huge. That was the take the lead.
We might have already, okay, so that was to take the lead. So that was whenever the game was 24-19. I think that, no.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused. The score was like kind of weird because we kicked so many field goals early on. So that was to take the lead. So huge momentum swing on that play too. So big shout out Khalif Raymond.
If not game ball, helmet sticker at least.
Get him
if they did that in the NFL. Anyways, Corey Davis had another good showing, 69 yards, nice on 5 catches. Jonnu Smith continued to be productive for this team with 61 on 5 catches.
Very clutch down the middle when we needed the game-winning drive. He was taking some shots too, taking some big hits right after the catch. Took some punishment, probably going to be a little sore, a little bruised, but man, he came up big for us for sure. So big shout out to Jonnu. I like it.
Absolutely. And then last receiver I'll mention on this list, Adam Humphries continues to be productive for this team, which you love to see. 4 catches for 41 yards. He had 7 targets. Again, converting third downs into first downs. You love to see that from Adam Humphries, especially after kind of a quiet season last year. So this offense can put up points. This offense has scored 30 points in the last 2 games, and they've responded when they've had to have a big drive. Right. And that's been crucial in these first 3 games, as it's come down 30-33 last week, 3-point game in the high scoring 3-point game, and then 31-30 this week. I just know in the NFL you're not going to squeak by winning, giving up 30 points a week.
It's going to catch up to us, unless we figure it out on defense for sure.
Absolutely.
Real quick too about the offense. So we talked about Tannehill did some good things. I thought he played well, better than what his stats are going to show. He played. It wasn't his best game, but he made the plays when it counted, especially at the end of the game. The receivers were good, except for number 15. Sorry, I keep calling this very disrespectful. I wish I knew his name. I can't.
That's
remember.
All right. It's a hyphenated name, long hyphenated name. It's okay. I understand.
Except for him, Derrick Henry running the ball well. But if there is a thumbs down that I can give to the offense, I thought Arthur Smith was very up and down in some of these play calls. I'll give you 2 examples right off the bat here. Remember doing some weird stuff with Humphries, kind of pitching him the ball or throwing him a screen, and he looked like he was trying to throw. That was a clutch moment in the game, late in the game, where we needed yards. We needed to at least get closer to field goal range.
Exactly.
Was not a fan of that. I don't like throwing the deep ball or calling a play, the deep ball to the Nick number 15 guy down the field. Didn't like that. But definitely was chewing on my fingernails whenever we had the ball 1st and 10 on the final drive. I think at our 38 with about 2 minutes to go, we didn't run the ball a single time, nor did we gain a single yard. I think there was an incomplete pass, or I think we might have gotten a 1-yard or 2-yard pass to Humphries on an attempted screen, and then another incomplete pass that stopped the clock again. So we hardly burnt any clock. We didn't get any closer for Gostkowski. But luckily he was able to nail the 55-yarder, but I was not a fan of that series at the end of the game. I thought, Henry was running well. He was getting 4 or 5 yards per carry, getting consistent positive yards, and keeping the clock rolling was going to be a huge factor because we know our defense was letting them walk all over us. So pretty big question mark for Arthur Smith in this game. Like we said, we love the deep shots to Khalif Raymond. We still had good balance, I think, in terms of calling pass plays and run plays. You know, Henry, third straight game with 25 carries. I mean, that's just going to be our formula. Shout out to Darrington Evans. I thought he looked pretty good when he got his touches, and I would like to see the touch numbers increase.
He just had 3 carries, and I don't think he had any catches out of the backfield. He did not. No.
I thought he would be a little bit more involved to spell Henry, give him a break, but just 3 carries, and nothing special. He looked okay. Definitely looked quicker than Henry. I mean, I can kind of see it in the very small sample size that he is going to add some speed to this offense. Hopefully, as soon as next week. Man, we're going to have to bring a great offensive game plan coming up these next 2 weeks, especially. But yeah, shout out to Darrington Evans there a little bit. Jeremy Nichols still in the rotation. I saw Jeremy Nichols back there too. But yeah, Arthur Smith would like to see, don't get too crazy with the play calls, like the Adam Humphries
don't
thing.
Get cute, as we like to say.
Cute. Yeah, just play, call the plays, do what we do well. Loving the play action over the middle to Jonnu, run Henry to the left. Oh, fingers crossed for Taylor Lewan. That could be a potentially devastating blow.
Another big mention there. I thought Yannick Ngakoue was a terror, absolute terror today.
Man.
And Ryan Tannehill was constantly under pressure, having to throw before he wants to. And, that increased pressure. Yeah, his box score wasn't great, Tannehill, that is. But when it comes down to it, something that's been overshadowed, I think, in these first 3 games is that Ryan Tannehill has 3 game-winning drives this season.
Yes.
In all 3 games, he's getting credited with these game-winning drives, and he's making it happen when it matters, as we said. So that's something you love to see out of a guy you just gave $100 million contract.
Right.
That's something you really like to see out of this team. And I mean, it's, they keep saying you never, there's no bad wins in the NFL, as they say. But I mean, this Titans team's putting together a string of not great looking wins. And we're
probably going to drop in the power rankings from a few power ranking analysts out there. And I wouldn't blame them either. I mean, we very easily could have lost this game. Definitely want to give the due props to the Vikings. I mean, especially,
absolutely.
You went on that Vikings podcast show, and I really liked how that guy came across. I thought he was a good guy, good fan. And he did not have that much hope in this game. So I was kind of thinking about him. I was like, man, he's probably really excited right now, watching the Vikings light up his defense, thinking that they're going to have a really good chance to win. Vikings team catching a lot of heat. Everyone's kind of down on him, down on Kirk Cousins.
But they're playing with their back against the wall. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you said, they showed up with their back against the wall, and they seem like the hungrier team here. And I had in the back of my head trap game all week, and it almost came true. I mean, the Titans got the 1-point victory, really squeaked this one out.
So we've won by 3 points, we've won by 2 points, we've won by 1 point. Let's see if we can win by 0 points. Let's see if
no ties. Philly and Cincinnati just ended in a tie, so we don't want any of those. Don't want any of those. Don't want
ties. Golly, that it is kind of interesting how the ties can factor in by the end of the season, and how that's automatically like a tiebreaker when they're racing against another team to get a wild card spot or get a division. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out at the end of the year. But if the Titans were involved in a tie, I'd be like, I don't know. It's that neutral, weird feeling.
We'd hop on this podcast and it would be 40 minutes of silence. What are we even going to say? Who won?
Yeah. Hey, got a text, I think, or a DM from that guy. The Vikings.
It wasn't Randy, was it?
No, not Randy. It was the guy that you went on the channel with.
Yeah. One bar.
He said, Jake,
Mr. One Bar.
He said, Jake, if Gostkowski didn't win you today, he never will. Good game.
I appreciate that, Mr. One Bar. What a great sportsman. What a nice guy.
Yeah.
Did Gostkowski win me over today? 100%, absolutely. He was 6 of 6 from field goal. He tied his career high on the game winner. I mean, what tells you that a guy is back to his true form than tying his career high in a pressure situation?
Was it a career high in number of field goals or career long in distance?
Career long. It tied at 55 was
Okay.
his career long.
Because I do know the 6 field goals are a record for him personally. So this future Hall of Famer is breaking records.
Breaking his own records.
Yeah,
it's
amazing.
incredible. You couldn't write the Stephen Gostkowski story any more crazy within the first 3 weeks. It's been unreal. But yeah, definite game ball to Stephen Gostkowski. He's the kicker of this team moving forward. We hopped on here 2 weeks ago and said, let's get this guy the hell out of town. And now he's maybe the sole spotless spot of this game today. He played a flawless game. He was drilling kicks, honestly, down the middle, good from several yards back, because he was drilling them today. Love to see it from him.
I mean, I'm almost going to go as far as to saying he's, after 3 games, maybe the MVP of this team. Like, he didn't win us. I know he kicked the game-winning field goal against the Broncos, but I don't think he won us the game because of how many he missed. But he definitely won it for us against Jacksonville, and absolutely won it for us against the Vikings. So we could easily be 1-2 right now without him. And that's all that matters at the end of the day, is how many wins versus losses that you have. And he's maybe the biggest reason. This team last year was definitely not winning these 2 games with the kickers that we had. So
absolutely,
more love to Gostkowski.
Absolutely. I did want to point out another stat that's starting to, you hear it more and more on telecasts and things. The Titans moved to 15-0, undefeated in Derrick Henry's career when he has over 100 yards.
Dude, I heard the commentator say that, and I was like,
this man. He brought it up, and the Titans were, they were driving down the field to try and win it, and wow, he brought it up now. But yeah, Titans moved to 15-0 with Derrick Henry getting 100 yards. And, you said Arthur Smith maybe with some questionable calls. He didn't go away from the run in this one.
Right.
Even though the Titans were down, he stuck to his guns and feeding Derrick Henry the ball, and it yields good results. And obviously that stat backs it up, 15-0. When Henry's at 100 yards. So that trend continued today. You love to see Derrick Henry get the average up to 4.6 a carry. It looked more like the playoffs last year, where he's gashing them at 5 yards, 6 yards apiece, just punishing runs up the middle.
Yeah.
Great to see Derrick Henry hop back on the horse.
Still would like to see the long one, but I'm okay with his production. I just think our expectations for him are through the roof. So we're expecting
we kind of got
one long Henry run per game is kind of what we were wanting, but he might be number 1 in the league in rushing. Well, actually, it might be Dalvin.
Depending on what Aaron Jones does tonight against the Saints.
Right. That's true.
But yeah, he keeps putting up 100-yard games. Except I'm not sure if he had 100 last week.
He had
Jacksonville,
84. He was in the 80s.
Yeah.
So
still
not paltry numbers by any means. So he's running well. Just I would like to see the big long one that could really shift momentum, swing momentum. Do a Khalif Raymond play, a big long play that can totally change the feel and the tone of the game. Would like to see that on the ground with Henry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, at the end of the day, we're 3-0. And the best chance about being 3-0 is the chance to go 4-0.
4-0.
We just got to get this defense more cohesive at the end of the day. We can't keep letting up 30 points to opponents. This trend can't continue. And we have a really big stretch of important AFC games coming up. And we can't get complacent being 3-0.
Yeah.
I don't think complacency is a thing with Mike Vrabel's team. I think Mike Vrabel's frankly pissed at this team coming into this next week.
So.
They're 3-0, but we're not happy with this performance, especially him being the defensive coordinator. He's got to be fuming at the ears, and they just got to get this together, especially with Buffalo looks for real. The Rams gave them a game all the way to the end, and Buffalo pulled it out on a questionable.
I need to see some highlights for that game, because the Rams made a ridiculous comeback and took the lead. I was just tracking the score at the bottom of the little ticker at the bottom during the Titans game, and I was like, I can't believe the Rams came back. But the Bills did end up winning the game, you said?
Yeah, absolutely. They won the game. It was on kind of a ticky. They got a second chance on a ticky-tack pass interference on a 4th down, but they made the most of it, So I think we have the 3-0 Steelers coming to town next week. We have the 3-0 Bills after that, and it's worth noting that Pittsburgh just sent Houston to 3-0. or 3-0, 0-3, excuse me.
Right.
Pittsburgh just dealed Houston their third straight loss. And we got some for real teams coming up, and then the third game after that is the Texans. So
I mean, the Bills,
really important games coming up, and we got to get this defense together.
The Bills and the Steelers, I think, are certainly, if not going to make the playoffs, they're going to be in the hunt at least by December. Bills
Absolutely.
could win that division. Steelers kind of harder to see them winning the division, but they're because of the Ravens. But they're going to be a front runner wild card team with the way they're playing. So it would be huge to get one. Even if we go 1-1 over the next 2 weeks, I think that's still a overall good win for the Titans to go back to go 1-1 against those two teams because they're going to be in the mix by the end of the season for sure. So yeah,
absolutely. You have any closing thoughts here, Justin? I mean, what a crazy game. The Vikings gashed us all day long. Dalvin Cook had over 8 yards a rush. I think as a team they were 7+ yards per carry. Kirk Cousins bounce back game. He passed for 251 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, he had 2 picks, but the last one was kind of a Hail Mary situation. But any closing thoughts here after this crazy game, other than Stephen Gostkowski deserves a lifetime contract now all of a sudden?
Kick until you're 60, Stephen. That's how much we love you now. So yeah, Titans are 3-0. I think as these games continue, we continue watching this Titans team week to week. Confidence in the offense's ability to make plays when it counts are trending up. The confidence in the kicking game is certainly trending highest than it's been in a long time, but the defense overall is a trend way down. So overall feelings about this team going forward is, how for real are we? The Jags looking bad against the Dolphins. The Broncos haven't won a game yet either. I know they're injured a lot, and now the Vikings are 0-3. So we're 3-0, but our opponents combined have won a single game, and that's the Jags over the Colts. So we're going to have to come out and show something against the Steelers before anyone takes this team seriously. But that's about where I am. There's things to feel really good about going forward and things that, no, we got to fix this, or we may not even make the playoffs if this defense isn't addressed. So
for sure.
I mean, so I'm going to enjoy 3-0 while we can.
Yeah, great to be 3-0. Great spot to be, the best spot you can be after 3 games. And especially heading into this string of tough AFC opponents. Coming into the year, if you would have said, would you take 3-0, even if it meant ugly games, you would have said, hell yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so, this defense got to get more cohesive and play better down the stretch. And, we might draw some comparisons to the Bears, who are also 3-0. Called that on our picks video. I love the Bears. The Bears role that they're on. Nick Foles
they beat the Falcons.
They came back. Yep, the Falcons choked another one away. They pulled Trubisky, sent in Foles, and the Bears are 3-0. We might draw some comparisons to the Bears, both being 3-0, but maybe being kind of frauds in that aspect.
Yeah, dude, I feel terrible.
And, deservedly so. This defense is bad. This defense is not great. But moving forward, happy to be 3-0. Let's just get back to it and get better, and we got a big home stretch coming up with
gonna have fans
Pittsburgh
in the stands
and Buffalo. Yeah, absolutely, gonna have fans in the stands, so they're gonna get some instant feedback on how well they're playing defense. So hopefully moving forward we can make it 4-0 and keep stacking wins. Man,
I like it, man. Hope so. Vrabel, you're under the microscope now with this defense. You got to fix it. Let's look up Dean Peace's phone number and force him to finish out the season with us, calling our defensive schemes. It's probably not going to happen. Man. But looking forward to next week.
I would love to give him a ring. Let's at least give him a call.
Just to see what can hurt.
Just to see.
Try. Like, hey, Dean, we're 3-0.
No harm in trying.
This is going to be a fun season. You can only help us.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, that's our post-game reaction. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you are enjoying this heart-wrenching 3-0 start, how the Titans love to do to their fans. So yeah, let us know what you think. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Look for our preview video for the Steelers and our Week 4 picks video coming out later on this week, probably by the weekend. But yeah, that's it. Anything else, Jake?
Awesome. I got nothing. Feels good to be 3-0. Let's, move on from this one, fix mistakes, and go beat Pittsburgh.
I like it. Let's take down the steel curtain. Rip that curtain down.
Yeah. Tighten up, baby. 3-0.